Welcome back to lesson number 3. In this lesson, we're going to walk you through what a campaign is and how to build one. The way to think about a campaign is a broad, overarching category that allows your potential new customers to self-diagnose themselves in and or out of a specific service you offer. Think about a campaign as either a practice area, a feedback campaign, or anything that you want to ultimately drive consumers to in a bunch of different ways. Campaigns can live publicly and or privately on your storefront page by simply toggling this specific experience that says add to your storefront domain. If you toggle it off and navigate to your storefront URL, you'll notice that that campaign is no longer here. With that said, if you navigate to this up arrow here, you'll notice that that campaign still lives publicly across the internet if you want to use that in different ways in your digital experience. One way to think about why someone would privatize a campaign is for a couple of different reasons. They might privatize a campaign to specifically drive attribution on a Google ad, perhaps a referral source, and something that you don't necessarily need to live on your publicly facing domain on things like your website and so forth. If you completely want to inactivate your campaign, you would toggle the bottom left corner of each tile and deactivate it accordingly. So now let's talk about what it looks like building a specific campaign. In order to build a campaign, you navigate to add a new campaign. Again, from here, a campaign can be looked upon as a broad category. In this case, perhaps we want to build a family campaign where we're going to do a test case here. It will navigate you to allow you to build on your global storefront and push to a dedicated integration accordingly. If you want to privatize this campaign, you'd simply navigate to no. If you don't want this push to integrations, for example, if you're collecting feedback from people or things of that nature, you'd also navigate to no. From there, you'll notice that we actually provide you your campaign URL. It's usually your global URL and then / whatever the specific given name is for that campaign. You also are able to dedicate which users receive specific responses from these campaigns. If you're a generalist firm and there's specific people within the firm that don't specifically practice family law, you can uncheck them so that they don't get notified on specific campaigns that are built. This is incredibly important in order to make sure that you're not flooding inboxes with unnecessary new lead information to individuals at the firm that don't necessarily need to receive it. That's how you would create a new campaign. Once that campaign is built, there's a couple of different things, but what you'll notice is it will add a tile card under your campaign builder section of Lawbrokr. Like I mentioned before, you can add that to your specific storefront, whether you've privatized it in the past or now want to publicize it. You can deactivate or activate that campaign by toggling this specific response down here. And you can actually create a copied link section that you can now paste in different areas across the internet. Navigate quickly to see what that campaign looks like through the up arrow, or simply check out your settings and edit campaign, duplicate that campaign, or delete that campaign accordingly. If you want to make it easy on yourself to duplicate an experience that you've spent time building out, you would navigate to the duplicate section and click duplicate. You'll see with inside of your Lawbrokr campaign builder, you've now got a family law copy. In order to edit that specific language and campaign, you can simply navigate to edit campaign, and then from there, change your heading and subtext. What you'll notice is this emulates the storefront builder that we went through in lesson number 2. You can add different logo types or brand colors and change the messaging on a per campaign basis. You can also theme that specific campaign accordingly. If you want to change the theme of that specific campaign, you can apply it accordingly and not publish that across all pages, but simply publish it to this specific campaign. Once you've done so, you can navigate back to Edit Campaign, go to Settings, and change this information accordingly. You can also self-select which specific users in this specific campaign should receive responses from there. Once we're happy with that, we would simply go back and click Publish. In our next session, we're going to learn what lives under campaigns. Under the Campaign Builder, you'll actually see how to build out specific journeys with Lawbrokr. I'll see you in our next session, lesson number 4, to walk you through how to build out journeys under the umbrella of a campaign builder.